Surprise! It's a podcast takeover. I'm Almesha Campbell, better known as Dr. C, and I'm here taking over the podcast of these two lovely ladies. They've been busy, very busy doing podcasts with the Mandela Washington Fellows here at the Jackson State University Institute, and now it's my turn to do Innovate Exchange and welcome them to this podcast.
Thank
you
you.
introduce
Thank you,
yourself?
Dr. C.
So I'm Irene Samadiat Rinda. I'm from Uganda.
The part of Africa.
Uh-huh.
I am Nahuja and I am from Tanzania, the East African
Community.
community, from East Africa. So she's my neighbor.
So Africa meets St. Kitts and Nevis
Yeah.
here in the United States of America, Mississippi to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you both, Irene and Nahuja, apply for the Mandela Washington Fellowship?
So I was following the previous fellows and the work they were doing, and I felt it is the space that I need to be in. Given that, yes, I do business, but I look also at making an impact in my community. So I applied so that I can come and learn how I can do my business well, but at the same time, how I can do business but still make an impact in my community.
That's nice. Again, mine will seem a bit like a selfish one. So I have had friends and family members who have come into Mandela Washington Fellowship. My sister did her fellowship in 2022, and she had all the amazing stuff to talk about this program. So it started from there, but I never applied. But then last year, it kind of like felt okay. So, sorry, I know they're supposed to not mention your name, your age, but I was turning 35 this year, and most of this fellowship and most of these opportunities, they tell you the maximum age is 35. So last year I was like, yo, I need to apply to everything and everything because after next year I will not be able to do them. But also I think I was just in a good place in my life from last year. I felt like if I got this fellowship 2 years or 5 years ago, I don't think I'll have the takeaways that I have done, or the takeaway that I'm going to take from this time, period of time in my life. I think it's everything has its time. And I feel like this was, and this is a funny part, I keep telling people this, I was on the first pick. So I was selected, I got an email and they said, oh, you are on the waiting list. So people have been selected, but if anything happened to any of them, we'll let you know. But you can send us your passport, we're going to hold that, and then we'll let you know before June. So and then that day they called me and said, did you check the email? I was like, no. And it's like, oh, congratulations, you got selected. So apparently one of the lady, I think she gave birth, and another guy was traveling to another country. So the CEO Iris sent 5 names, and then they picked me out of those 5 names.
Well, congratulations. Look
So,
at that, right?
and I remember when they sent me the first email, I was like, okay, I went to church and I said, God, if it was not for me, it's okay. But then it was for me, so I'm here. I'm just so excited because it's everything I thought it would be, and more. I am so empowered to go back, and I feel like we have such a big responsibility now to go back and empower other people. So yeah.
Well, we're happy to have both of them here at Jackson State University Institute. And I know there's a lot of stuff that they've been doing. I know some of them probably are exhausted. But tell me something that, as you said, Nahuja, that it was more than you expected.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about that? What were you expecting, and why was that expectation exceeded?
Okay. So first and foremost, congratulations to IREX and to Jackson State University. Doing an itinerary of 6 weeks, so when we got that itinerary, we were like, this is going to be hectic. This is going to be, we thought it's going to be like going military, we go here, we go there, it's going to be serious stuff. And unlucky enough, one of the person who went for Mandela Washington Fellowship, I don't know which state she went to, but she was like, it was so hectic and everything, so I had that mentality. But coming here, especially in Mississippi and Jackson State University and Dr. C and every other person, a professional who is in our team and helping us, we have had the best time. We are learning, but we are also unlearning. We are experiencing things for the first time that was not in itinerary. See, itinerary is just, it was a map.
Yes.
But we got here and we got more from that. We met people that we never thought. Because you get the name of the person you're gonna meet and all the explanation, but you go to that meeting, you meet 10 more other people. So it just became like, it was just, I don't know how to explain. It was just like, this is what I thought it's gonna be, but it's that. We're still meeting these people, we're still following the procedure and the itinerary, but we are just being surprised every time. Every time. And I think that for especially for entrepreneurs, and the best thing that you guys have also done, we are 25 of us. Each one of us comes from a different field. But I'm telling you, the whole 6 weeks, you were able to touch each one of us. Each one of us was served. We met somebody from our industry. We're served somebody who can guide us. And that's just recommendable. So thank you guys so much. And that's how different it was.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely. And I come to you, but I would add to that.
Yeah.
I think the fact that the institute is under the College of Business,
Yes.
and you have people with different expertise. You have Dr. Didier, is an
Yes.
accountant. You have Dr. Sharon Simmons, who is entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You have Dr. Davidson,
It's in
who is in
marketing.
marketing, and then you have Sandra McFarlane, who is
Lawyer.
an attorney
Yeah,
in business
a lawyer,
law.
yeah.
And then you have myself, completely out there in a space of tech transfer, entrepreneurship, and research administration. So when we look at our experience over the last 2 years with this, especially last year, making sure that we understand that not all of the fellows are going to be like, we have to look at your business to see what you expect to gain from here, and make sure we match you with the specific stuff, but understanding that every day won't be for everybody. And you guys were able to make the adjustment when the message was not for you.
And
you
we
still
cheered.
learned something.
And we cheered for other people.
Yes,
Like
yes.
Irene, today's your day.
Yes.
We're here. We want us to ask questions.
Yeah.
So that was really, that was really good.
It was interesting. It has been interesting.
Yeah.
So I want to share about my experience. So the first time we went to iVillage, and when we are coming to the US, we have this kind of picture, because most of us, it was the first time to come to the US. So we are looking at these tall buildings, and you have that picture in your mind.
Yeah.
But before we came, of course, they told us you're going to have some shops when you reach. So we reached iVillage because we were wondering, why are there some abandoned houses around? So after getting the whole story, it got me thinking. I felt so sad inside. I felt so emotional. But it also taught me or encouraged me to keep doing what I'm doing back at home, because I felt I was doing something in my community. And then we went to Habitat for Humanity, and you see how people are giving back to the community. To me, that touched me. It's not something that I thought I was going to find here, but learning from them and knowing that sometimes you don't need to have money to give back to your community. You can use talent, you can use skill, and you give back to the community and make your community a better place for those that are around. Then the visit to Nissan was just my
highlight.
Thank you, Nissan.
It was so mind-blowing, looking at the technology and what human beings are capable of creating. I don't know how to explain it, but to me it was like the peak of everything. And but it's good. We started from iVillage, Habitat, and then we went to Nissan. I think that was something that was good, because I don't know if we had started from Nissan and then so it was good. I've really enjoyed everything. Our facilitators.
Oh my God.
You've made us. I've been telling people that being in Mississippi I've not missed home, because it's like home.
Yes,
The people are so friendly, because they told us when we were coming, the shocks that we're expecting, we didn't find them here. Of, you know, people are busy, you know, you can't say hi, no one might, you know, they might not respond to you. We've not seen that in Mississippi.
Mississippi is known as a hospitality state, so it's, you know, I'm not shocked that this is the experience that they have, and you're hearing it from them directly, not from me, but from them. And I love that having this take over, because I get to ask the questions, and then I'm hoping they answered me not just as their academic lead for this institute, but more for us to just have this rapport about their experiences. And we know we had different people here in terms of the cohort.
Yes.
How did you, the dynamic of the cohort in terms of knowing that there are different businesses, and you know, we've had conversations about, okay, now who's you in marketing, and how do you take your skills and talk to the other fellows to make those adjustments. Today, for example, we were in a session with the mayor of the city of Jackson, Mayor Lumumba, and one of the things, you asked the questions, but you asked it on behalf of another colleague in your cohort. Tell me why that was important for you to ask that question.
I think after spending 5 weeks, going to 6 weeks now. So
that happens. We're fellows.
Yes, we're fellows. Yes,
the phone would ring.
I think after spending some time here, we have learned that everybody here plays a role back home. It's not about me. It's about Tanzania. It's not about Uganda. It's not about whatever, whichever country we're all coming from. We're all representing the continent, which is Africa, and we're all young leaders that we're gonna go back and make our countries better. And when Uganda is better, Tanzania is better, Kenya is better, we're better, because we you know, we're neighbors. So for us, even when we go to these forums and we're talking to people, you know, we, like, for example, we know, for example, I think we went to the University of Mississippi.
Yes.
No, it was at the University of Mississippi on our way to
William University.
Yes, and then they were talking about, you know, it was all about, you know, doctorate and everything, and we're like, hey, Frida, like, this is your day. And sometimes you are even asking questions on behalf of her, because she might not remember everything, or she might not have done everything. So for us, it's like the betterment of everyone. It's not just one country. And we came here with Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya. But then as soon as we got here and we got to understand what everybody else is doing, and we got to understand their impact back home, we make sure that if we see an opportunity, if we're in front of somebody who can give them, you know, a lift up, we'll present them. And I think somebody who's doing a great job on that is Hassan. So Hassan will always be like, that one is this, that one is this. Like, I remember Irene Tanzania would talk, and Hassan would be like, do you know that seaweed has 92 minerals?
Tell us where Hassan is from.
Hassan is from Djibouti. So I think the mentality really shifted.
Yes.
And I think that's what this program has done for us. When we ended up meeting Farida from Nigeria, and yesterday she did an amazing presentation. They have a whole association of Mandela Washington Fellows back home, and she's the president. You know, you can tell the Pan-Africanist in her. She's a she's not Nigerian. You know, so when you talk to her, I'm like, okay, this is good. Everybody wants to go for the Nigerian forum. You know, how can we go there? Oh, we only have a space for 300 people we can pay for. We'll pay for ourselves. We'll come for the forum. It's okay. It's because it doesn't matter if it's in Nigeria, it's in Rwanda, it's in Kenya. So to answer your question now, we're thinking as one.
That's good, because that's what we're hoping. We're hoping that each of you not only take your skill sets and help others, but that you will see opportunities as opportunities for Africa. And not the individual, right? And so we're pouring into you, and we're getting our community. Because you've met mayors, you've met governors, you've met House of Representatives, you've met Secretary of State's office. So you've had an opportunity not only on the civic engagement side, not only on the community development side, but also entrepreneurs. You both are entrepreneurs in your own right, right? You're doing amazing jobs doing what you're doing. Talk to me about how this experience has helped you as an entrepreneur to even think of your business in a whole different way.
I think the good start. So we've been visiting big companies, and this evening we were discussing with some of the fellows, and we said one thing that we realized is you need to be a little selfish. Because one thing we've noticed is every time we've entered into the manufacturing facility, they tell us no phones. That means there may be something that they are doing that is different from other people that they don't want. Exactly. They don't want that is one thing that I've learned, and that I really, before I came, I didn't care so much about it, but now I know the meaning and why I need to do that. And then also, of course, the giving back that I've talked about. And then now in my business, I think my model has changed. My model has changed, and I'm now looking at the therapy part of it, going that way. The therapy, because I have a story behind it, but also when I was engaging with Dr. Sharon before I came, the one-on-one we had, she discussed something with me, and when I thought about it, I was telling her that every time I put my head down to sleep, my mind starts, thinking about it. So I'm looking at the cancer patients and training them so that we can do business together.
Well, can you tell us a little bit more about your business? Because you talk about making a chain. What is your business?
Okay, so I do crochet. That is my business. I sell the products. I've been doing trainings in schools and communities at an affordable fee. But now, when I came here, then having that one-on-one with Dr. Sharon, I've realized that maybe somehow I need to change my model, which I'm going to work on. And I think I have to say this right here.
Yes.
So, as I said, I sell my crochet products. So I had carried some, and Dr. C bought a bag. I've decided to say it here so that she gets to know. So, and I told her the price, and then she paid double the price. So when she did that, to me, I think she saw the reaction on my face, and she just said, don't mind it. So when I got that money, my mind went straight to the cancer kids I was talking about. I said, wow, to me, you have sown a seed that you don't know, but I'm going to get this money that was excess, and I'm going to buy the materials that I'm going to use to first train these kids. And I am going to make sure that I keep you updated on that, because you did that, but you didn't know how much it meant. And I had decided not to say it, and I wait for that time when I say, you know what, you remember? This is what it did.
This is what it did.
Really.
And I'm just
I was humbled.
I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that. But the reason why I did that was mainly because I saw value. I saw value in your product. I said value in your time, your effort, and the fact that, the material and the way it was made. When you look at pricing models, right, you're pricing it way below what we would pay here in the United States of America. So I was paying what I thought you would deserve, and what you deserved, right? But to hear you say what you're gonna do with it makes me even prouder that I saw that value right away and do it. But even on Nahuj, I know you're bold enough to say something, but I want to go back to this because this young lady, she's not saying it, but even though she charges for the training that she does, what did you do 2 nights ago?
Oh,
she trained us.
Because I'm so passionate about what I do. I organized and I trained the fellows so that at least they can go in their different countries and they take the skill with them. One, because with us business people, there are days when you're stressed and you need therapy. So I train them so that at least every time that they get stressed, they want to put their minds off maybe their business, they can just make the hook and the yarn their friend. Yes.
And the funny thing is that in the WhatsApp group, as I saw the photos, I felt pushed to put my unfinished work in the chat because I took 2 of the fellows to church and we had that conversation, and one of them said, I'm not good at it, I made a string. So I was teasing them, and I thought about it, I said maybe I should show show them
Yeah.
my work, because sometimes when they hear Dr. C, they're like, Dr. C, she don't do that.
Yeah.
And I posted mine, right? And I said, I do this when I'm stressed.
Yeah.
And she just said that. So that's why I did it. But yeah.
I was boiling up because I wanted to like add to what she's saying about you. So when I got here, I shared with you about my podcast, and I said that I don't have microphones. I'm looking for them, and I was like, I'm looking for them, and I was just, you're like, don't worry, I'll get them for you. It's fine, it's fine. And you know, you don't know what you're doing, because let me tell you something. Blessings comes from different ways. It might look so small to you, but it's this big. Because if I use those microphones to talk to people in my podcast and it touches somebody, that's already a blessing. So, you know, I know you are blessed in so many ways. So just know so much blessings coming your way. You have been amazing, because I know the money that she's going to put in, you don't know who's gonna touch. And for us, we really appreciate that, Dr. C. We're not saying that because she's here. We talk about her. We talk about her. We need to give her our flowers, because this is the thing. You put your time, your effort, your heart to us, and sometimes you don't see. You think that this is just me. I'm doing my job. I'm helping these fellows, but you don't know what you're doing to our careers. You don't know what you're doing to us. Saying, when I go back, I need to stretch my hand to other people, because I know how that feels. And even though I knew I was doing it, but now I'm gonna do it intentionally, because Dr. C does it.
Oh, I appreciate it. Can we move on? I appreciate it.
It's our fault.
But let's go on a lighter note.
Okay, so
but thank you. But so tell me, you know, same way about you.
I think what was the question again? I forgot.
Your business. Talk to us about your business and how it has, in your mind, evolved. And how do you think you?
I think for me, first of all, I've changed everything. For her, she's like, her model has changed. Me, I've changed everything. Before I came, I had an episode on my podcast about quitting entrepreneurship, and I published it for one day, and I put it back in private. And because I said, if I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna come to Mandela, Washington, and then people are gonna see me doing all this stuff, I thought you quit. I thought you can't handle it anymore. I'm gonna put it back. But the reason why I did that episode was to show the hardship of being an entrepreneur. We glorify it a lot. We tend to see the pictures and the beautiful things, and we're like, this is how it is. But I think when we did the marketing simulation, and we're put in that world where we have to think about so many things that runs a business, we realize we're not running a business. I've been running my business for 6 years, but after that market simulation,
it was intense, right?
It was really intense, and it was a very short period of time. I think it was like for 1 week.
Yeah.
We won, by the way, my team won. But it's just that it really showed us that in order to succeed, you have to really think about so many components about your business, and that really got me to go back to drawing board. How am I doing this? What I'm doing right now, is it right? What have I been doing wrong? What is the aspect of my business that I have not touched at all? There are places I have not touched at all. I've never had that kind of person to do that, whatever that is in my in my company. So it was such an eye opener. And even though I was like, entrepreneurship is hard. No, it's hard because we're not doing the right thing. We're not having the right mentorship. We're not exposing ourselves to be trained.
What about the customer discovery that you were taught?
Customer discovery. It's, everything. What you've told us, what Dr. Edith was telling us about finding what our strengths are. For example, me is empathy. I tend to lead from emotions. And having a partner in my business, like, we're not buying the wedding gift. No, you don't have to buy pizza. We don't have that money. I lead from emotions. I want my team to be happy and everything, and at the end of the day, you suffer as a company. So everything you guys have taught us has really got us thinking about different aspects of our businesses, and now we're going back to drawing board. So I know when I go back home, I'm not going to do things the same at all. I think it's going to be 360. I'm not going to do things the same way. Pink Sport was social enterprise, but now I've already started NGO registration for the NGO because I felt like there's money aspect of it,
Yes.
but I'm gonna grow so slow,
Yes.
and I won't reach as many women that I want to reach. Because when we got here, when people talk about the impact they have had in their community, people have businesses like Nissan tells us how many scholarships they've given out, how many you're thinking, okay, at least if I go to a route of NGO, I'll get the help I need because I'm not making money. I don't want to make money anymore from this. I want it to reach as many women as possible, and I want to help as many women as possible because there's satisfaction on that.
Right.
There is. So to answer your question, everything.
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 Because this is the business and leadership track, and so
Yeah.
they've been getting leadership training.
Yes.
They've been training different entrepreneurship tracks. They've been seeing large businesses, small businesses, venture capitalists. They've been able to see a wide spectrum of stuff. And even though they're not in civic engagement, we also show how the policies that legislators make impact entrepreneurs and the things that they're doing. And so, yes, you may think you want to change everything, right? But I know you're going to take it one step at a time.
We will take one step at a time, absolutely. But I think that also one thing that we have learned, don't be scared to start over. Don't be scared to start over. And it's okay when you tell somebody, I ran my business for 5 years, I closed my business, I took a break, and then I came back. Nobody's holding a gun on your head. Just do what you think is right for your career, for your business. So I know I'm gonna stop for a while to be able to put pieces together, and I'm not scared about that anymore. I used to, but now I'm not scared about that.
And then you've made contacts here, so you now have a broader network of people that have, committed that even after you go back to your different countries, that you will have an opportunity to still engage and still get the support that you need.
Absolutely.
And so that is valuable in itself too. We talk about the business side, but I also want to talk about some of the fun things that you were able to do here, because we do have fun, right?
Yeah.
And so talk to us about something you've done fun and that you didn't even think would occur, but you wish we had done it more. I heard some stuff, but I'm not gonna talk.
I want Eric to go ahead because if I didn't find it fun, probably I did. So I will go. You go first. Go first. I think for us it's maybe the trip to New Orleans. That was good. That was just we had time to relax, but also the day we cooked. We saw on the 4th of July we cooked our traditional food. That was really good. Just to be able to sit out there and be able to. We're not even on time. I think we're supposed to start at 11, and then
You're like never on time.
We're never on time. And then we're like, I think it was Sarah was telling us, guys, calm down. We're like, yo, we're in Africa now, so leave us alone.
The pot is still on the stove.
But also, as
that was so good,
as she has mentioned,
Yeah.
the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So the fireworks.
Yes.
So me in my country, I'd never
Seen. Yeah.
going for it because people have to pay and it's always the New Year's Eve.
Yeah, New Year's Eve. Yeah, even
So it's always congested.
Yeah.
So I've never gotten the
urge to
go. So it took us, and when they were playing is it the anthem? It got me so emotional. I was like, so I mean, maybe this is where people draw the love for their country.
Yeah.
I looked up as the fireworks were blowing up, and then the anthem. I got emotional. I don't know why, but it was beautiful. I enjoyed the moment. So I don't know when was it. Then I went back to the video that I recorded. I had to listen again, and I felt the reason why the Americans really love their country and patriotic. I mean, so I also know now that's
and shopping.
Yeah. Even shopping.
People go shopping every day. I've never gone shopping so much in my life. So we come back and it will be like, Deborah, can you take us to was it called what?
Walmart.
Not Walmart, the
Dollar
tree one.
Tree?
Dollar Tree. Take us to Dollar Tree. Because everything is just $1, so we just like we just shop and shop. But yeah, so that was also fun. I think there's some
the
which one?
about The ship.
The ship, yeah. New Orleans was good. It was good, and I think it was good because it was, I don't know how to explain. I think we just felt like so much weight was off our shoulders for just for a few hours.
Yeah.
And we can just sit there and just talk. And I had a lot of great discussion. And this is another thing that I think is so important with this trip. Every time you sit down with a fellow, you discover something else. Like, people don't tell you everything. They give you a bit of trailers. So sometimes when you get to a place where we're all enjoying and all relaxing, and the topic comes out and everybody start talking and say, oh, I did this and I did that, you realize, okay, these people have so much to offer. So I think the friendliest time I've had is when I just have really good conversations with other fellows, and you learn so much from
right. And then you weren't under the pressure to think about your business at that time, relax. Then you had an opportunity to meet the fellows from Louisiana State University, right?
Yes.
And some of you have your own countrymen there that had great conversation. I thought that was really good. What was funny is because Dr. Simmons had planned an icebreaker.
Yeah.
And then she came in with her little cups trying to do the icebreaker, and I go, I think the ice was already broken because they were already hugging and doing different things. I was like, okay, throw the icebreaker out the door, because you could tell that you guys had already had conversations via chat, and then you were just waiting to finally meet each other. Right?
Yeah.
So you kind of preempt the session in DC, which is coming up, by meeting them, right?
Yeah.
So I can see when you get to DC, the explosion
it's
that
gonna
would
be
happen of cultures. Because you've met some, the first one, but you have a whole other group that you're gonna meet. Almost 600 of them in Washington DC next week. So I'm also looking forward to that, because for me, as someone from the Caribbean and then in America for 20-something plus years, when I got to Washington DC at the summit last year, it was the best place that I've seen so many different people, right? From in Africa, from the different countries in Africa. And I think one of the things when we look at the Olympics, which I love the Parade of Nations in the Olympics, the opening ceremony, closing ceremony, because this is the first time I get to see people from different countries. But now I get to hug them, I get to know them, I get to work with them, I get to laugh with them, and it's such one of the richest experience anyone can ever have. Not only for me, but I see it among yourself too, because you never thought you would meet someone from Djibouti.
No.
Right? One of the sweetest people. You
No.
never thought you'd
Chad.
You know, all these places that you would see or hear about, you never thought you would actually be living with them, eating with them, having a good time. And I love to see that camaraderie. I know, I know at the end of the day, some of you are going to be closer, when you get home. But the fact that here, the respect, of people, the respect of the different cultures. I just love Marlene from Benin. You're always gonna see the flag, and it reminds me of myself. I'm very proud of my heritage. I'm very proud of my culture, and I've embraced the American culture. I've lived it for 20-something plus years, I think 24 years. But I never miss a moment to say, I'm from St. Kitts and Nevis, right? Because you hear the accent. So talk to me a little bit about, when you first come here. I know people prior to you gave you some thoughts about what to expect. But what are some things you would say was a cultural difference or cultural shock? Because one of the fellows mentioned, there's so much waste. And
there is so much waste.
Yes. And you see waste in a way that's different to how we see waste, right? And I understand that, because I'm going to tell this is a professional network, but I'm going to tell this. My mom, the way how I was raised is not to waste anything. So we would have Ziploc bags, and you just put, something in it overnight, and it's nothing messy or anything. And then here we just throw it away. My mom would not throw it away; she would reuse it. But here we throw it away. We use a plastic cup, we throw it away. And I know some of you see that and go like, my goodness, this is a lot of waste. So talk to me about something that you think was a cultural shock for you.
I think for me was two things. So Jackson is really quiet. You hardly see anyone walking outside. So I remember The first day I was like, maybe it's just the sun. Second day I was like, what is happening? Third day I started counting people. I think the third day I only saw one person outside, like cutting grass. And I was like, what is happening? Why are people not outside? It's like, oh, everybody drives here. You know, people, they at work, you know, they inside their job, they're working. So that was like one of the biggest shocks, because I come from a big city. There's always people walking around. But here you can walk from here all the way to shop and you pass maybe one person or two people. So that was really cool. Cool at the same time, because you know, we needed, the hotel is placed in a very quiet area. It's different from when we went to New Orleans. We started hearing beep beep beep, and we started hearing things. We're like, now we understand. Now we appreciate Jackson better, the quietness and everything, because we can sleep very well and everything. I think the second one will be, I think the Ant Village was such a shocking for us. I think because also that was the first weekend that we're here, walking around the neighborhood, seeing that, you know, it's not the same problem that we have back home, but seeing that communities here also have problems, and they are major to them. Right. The education side of things, the health side of things, I think also the food, you know, I think the food, kids eating all this junk food and everything, we were really, really shocked. Even when you're saying it's a vegetable but it's fried, you see like this, it's like, why are you frying vegetable? So that was, forget about, like, food is another ball game. We you know, adjusting to food here, but just that iVillage giving us a glimpse of how things are here in Jackson. And I know every other state will have its own problem, but one thing that I really loved was the fact that this community come together to solve their own problems and are not waiting for the government. I don't want to speak bad about my country. I love Tanzania, but I feel like we have this culture of saying we're waiting for the government, government this, president this, can you come and help us? They have so much to do. They can have to every city and town and street to help you. So that is a culture shock here, but it's something good that we've learned that I'm gonna take home and say, guys, we need to do this. We need to solve our own problems, and we're capable of solving our own problems in our community.
I think she has said it.
You did, because in the first thing you talked about iVillage.
Yes.
And I think that was good because you get to see different places, right? Like no matter where you go, you see different things. It was also my cultural shock when I first moved to Mississippi from Florida. I think is where I was taken the first day that I got here, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going back to Florida. I don't want to live here. I literally cried, like I'm leaving. But it was good for me to see that, because what that did for me was provide me an opportunity to see how I can help.
Yes.
What can I do in certain areas to give back, to help, you know, build generational wealth, you know, in a community that needs it the most, which is why I invested my time in, you know, working in where I am. Because it reminds us some places in my country as well. Because we are not affluent, we all don't have everything, and it's the same thing, but that you see what you said, there are different people who are invested in working, that they don't have to be here, they could be anywhere, but they chose here because this is a community that needs it the most. And I think when you look at, I will go back and say, you know, on last Wednesday when we didn't have electricity on the campus, right? And I had to text early in the morning and go, hey, we have to pivot. We don't have electricity, so I'll be moving all of our on-campus sessions to the hotel. What was your thought then?
First of all, if you tell somebody back home that we had a whole day with no power, they'll be like, what? They'll be shocked. Oh, there's where we were, there were like water issues and everything. They'll be shocked. But I think for me, I just feel like those are just things that we're living in a world. There's some human errors. There are places that there's some things that you don't get all the time. It was not such a big shock to me. I was just like, and I think because we have been here for some time, so we have seen, we have gone around, we've seen places where the houses are torn down and grocery stores are being vandalized or something. So for me, it was like it became normal. There was not that big shock.
But then that wasn't.
But then one thing that I realized.
Also to add, to me, it has, being in Mississippi has helped me appreciate where I come from. Because like I said at the beginning, when they talk of the US, we look at it as a place where there are no challenges, But then coming here and getting to know the challenges and looking back at home and seeing how people around here are trying to solve, like the way she has said, the problems that they have on their own. It has also given me the knowing that I can also go back home and not wait for the government and cry to the government every time, but do what I can do in my means as I wait on the government.
Absolutely. And I think you will also see that even though that was not, any natural disaster or anything, and it was just someone who run into something and that power down and we were able to come to the hotel and have some sessions, right?
Absolutely.
And pivot easily, and there was no stress.
There's no stress.
You guys were not stressed.
I think we're happy when we were told.
Why?
And I was the leader that day.
Why
We're
were you
not
happy?
happy about. No, I was the leader that day, but we're not happy there was no power. We're happy that we're having a session in the hotel.
Okay.
Like we're like, thank God, let's just stay here because we love this place. It's like it's become a second home.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you're saying, at the end of the day, it was about what we're getting out of the class.
Yeah.
It's not more of like where we're going. I know we're supposed to do the gargle thing, and, but it was, it was such a wonderful day. It was such a wonderful
And I think it was that, for me, we're at the campus, I would have left about 5:30, 6 o'clock. We were here until what time?
No,
I don't know. Me, I left you at 8.
Yeah.
Talking about that, I think you're going to share with us how you balance everything.
Yes. Oh my God. We need to.
I took over the podcast.
You
but
know,
now
I know. She took over, but we're gonna share her links and stuff. You guys will see. This lady works overtime. I think even right now she's sitting here looking at. She's working somehow. I'm convinced she's working somehow. You need to teach us how to balance it, and I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's not. So the evening when we stayed here that day, and we went over because there were questions, and immediately on the spot I had to come up with a grant writing session because I was especially one fellow asked for it, but then realized that nearly all the fellows did it. And when I looked around the room and it was 6:30, I'm like, why are they still here? And they said, we're waiting. Yeah, they're waiting on me. And I said, for what? They said, can we have a one-on-one coaching session? I was like, okay.
I know.
And then we keep going, and then I see another table still filled with people, and I said, what's going on? We're waiting on you. So I had to spend 30 minutes with each person, and got out of here about 9. But it was as tired as one of the fellows said, Dr. C, I can see the tiredness in your eye. I would let you go, but can you please just give me a few minutes? And it energized me after he recognized the tiredness, but then while he acknowledged it, he knew he needed some before he left, and I was able to do that. And that, for me, as I drove home, I was thinking, this is what I was born for. This is my purpose. I was made for this, because even in my tiredness, for someone to recognize it and then still ask for help, and I was able to find the energy to muster that up and then still drive home, and then I text and said, I make it home, did what I had to do. That means a lot. So to answer the question, it's hard to tell you how to balance. I don't think I do a good job of it. What I know is I have to prioritize the work that I have to do. And I prioritize it in a sense where I allow the Lord to direct me in who needs it the most. There are a lot of people who say, Dr. Campbell can help you do this. Dr. Campbell need this by 20 o'clock. Dr. Campbell can do this. Dr. Campbell can you do this. But you would, more times than not, you would not say, Dr. Campbell asking for the help. Because I'm like, if all these people need my help, who do I go to? And so I find a balance where I'm constantly learning, I'm constantly putting in my spirit that I was built for this. And this is something that, regardless to the challenges, it was designed for me to be in a space where I can do these things, right? And I would say one of the things you always have to think, and I'm terrible at this, but I really try, is to take care of yourself first. Make sure you have what you need. Make sure you're nourishing your body. Make sure you're nourishing your soul. Making sure that even when things are hard, that you go in a corner in your privacy and you let it out.
Yes.
And it's not a sign of weakness.
Yes.
It's just that I have to decompress. This today was a lot.
Yes.
And as I told you, I had to cancel my flight because
Yes.
I need to be here with you guys
Yes.
before you leave.
We
It
appreciate
didn't make sense for me to go and then come back just for your closing to say bye. It felt like in your last week here that I needed to be here. You don't have a strong schedule, meaning that you don't have a busy schedule, but we're the time where I can fit in to say, what else do you need?
Absolutely.
Like we did, one day we were here, said, you've been here, 5 weeks. What is it you have not gotten that you need? And we had people who raised, 2 or 3 people raised their hand. I said, give me a second. I got on the call,
Yes.
call some folks, and they were on Zoom, or we were able to get in the van and drive to their place of business, because for me, it was important that you got everything that you needed while you were here, right? Because that's why you left your families, that's why you left your home. You made a commitment
Yes.
to be here, and I feel like you generally want to go back and help your country.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah, we
I have
do.
to, and so, and the fact that you're doing that, and you said it, very strongly, about it's not about you.
It's not about it.
It's about how many people you can impact.
Yes.
It's about what Irene said about, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to do this.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So all of you in this moment is not thinking about, I came here for an experience. I get to come to America and I go home and tell me, it's
No.
an American. I said this. No, it's about what did I learn and what did I take back. But here's something that you may not know. We've learned so much from you.
Oh.
So much from each one of you, right? Apart from your culture, apart from what you like and don't like, apart from your businesses, we learn about your perseverance, your resiliency. We learn about why you're passionate about the things you do. We learned today with one of the fellows about why he ran for mayor.
Yes.
In his country, what it meant to him, even what it meant to him to not win it.
Not winning.
And that maybe that wasn't his time, and for
Yes.
the mayor to talk to him about
Yes.
that too. I think those things are, when you look at it, why we do it. Why the group of us who walk into this project decided that we wanted to be a part of this. We wanted to make sure you have what you need when you come here. Y'all have mamas, y'all call us all sorts of names, because we generally feel like you are our children, right? And we want to make sure that you have everything that you need. So, we have taken over, we've done our jobs. Any last thing that you ladies want to say before we leave?
Oh my God. Start Irene, because that's why.
Let me say this, I'm going to miss y'all.
Oh.
I'm going to miss the opportunity to learn from you. I'm going to miss the opportunity to take off the administrator hat and just say, how can I help? Because we don't oftentimes get the opportunity to do things like this. And when you have, people from all levels of our institution coming to meet with you, to talk with you, we have a congressman coming in at the, before the closing to talk with you. People do that because they understand, the value. We also understand the value of cross-border connections, of making sure that we have this connection and how we can do business with Africa. The people have travel agencies. How can we get more done and all that stuff? So there's value in both ways to the process. So I started off to give you a little breather to think of what you want to say.
So, of course, we want to thank you for when we approached you for this. You said yes, you've sacrificed. I know you had a lot of things to do, but you're here with us. And also to our facilitators, you've put in so much.
Absolutely.
Every day leaves us humbled. We know there has been a lot of effort, a lot of work that we don't see, the one that happens behind. And also, we want to say thank you to Jackson State University. We want to say thank you to IREX. And we want to say thank you to the Department of State. because they've given us an experience. What they've given us, actually, no one can take it away from us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And we are going back with it.
Yeah, we'll go back to it. So she said the things. So I'm gonna talk to the people back home. I think another culture shock that we got to see, and I think you said it somehow. I think on our last session, not here but at campus. We are smart. African people, we are smart, and we tend to feel like people are superior than us, especially from foreign countries. But one thing that I realized when I got here, I got to meet all these fellows, I realized that we have everything that it takes for us to win, to develop our country and our continent. Only thing that we need is to believe in ourselves. I think the mentality that we have needs to change, and as soon as that change, everything else will change. Everything else will change, because the amount of impact that I'm seeing in just these 25 fellows that are here is huge. Imagine the 6,500 that already went through Mandela Washington Fellowship, and others who are going through other fellowship around, in different countries or even in Africa itself. We have all it takes, and like they say, young people, we are the majority back in Africa. So my biggest takeaway, my last word is, whoever is watching this, even if you never get a chance to come to Mandela Washington, know that you have everything that it takes for you to win. And we are there to help you. If you're from my country, or whatever country you want to apply for Mandela Washington Fellowship, you have a business that you're struggling with, now we know we want to be the mini Dr. C back home. Talk to us, call us, send us a LinkedIn message. We are there to help you out, because if you win, we both win. We all win. So that would be my last thing.
Beautiful. And yes, that's something that I've talked to them about, because sometimes we have to let you know that you have it within you.
Yes,
you have the skill set, you have it. You just need access to certain resources, but you do have it. And I think I want to end by saying, like, this entire program is so wonderfully put together.
It is.
Right?
Oh my God.
It gives you the experience, whether you're in the business track or you're in the civic engagement track. It provides you with so much opportunity and access to people. As you mentioned earlier, that I'm thinking I'm meeting with this one person that's leading the session, but you go in and they bring in 20 of their staff in, and they all have different skill sets and experiences that they talk to you about. But I also think that, even when you had the legislators and other politicians come into the room, they talk about their experience in Africa and how they think we could bridge, that gap. And I even talk to you all about the way Ghana is promoting people coming back home. That once
it's a whole festival.
And I think when we look at it, is operationally, we all would be a better world if we work closely together. And this is a wonderful program. So thank you, IREX. Thank you, Department of State. Thank you to the ladies at Jackson State University.
Yes, the ladies.
I appreciate y'all allowing us to work on this. And this has been a great takeover of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
All right,
bye.
bye.